Okay guys, this is a tutorial to show you guys how to create a title block and print your Hummers. It takes a little bit of time the first time creating your title block, but the good news is once you create your title block once, you'll never have to do it again. You can just copy and paste it from here on out into everything else you guys do. So it's kind of a one-time thing. So here is my sick Hummer that I created. Okay, pretty dope, right? And the first thing we need to be able to do is to be able to get into what is called paper space. So if you guys have what over here, model and layout 2 tabs, great. If you don't, you need to go over here, this little black box. If you hover over it, it says model, and if I right click on it, it goes display layout tabs, layout and model tabs. So I click on that, boom, model, layout 1, layout 2. Let's go to layout 1. Okay, so this is what we call paper space. Paper space is just like it sounds. It is your piece of paper. This white thing right here represents your piece of paper. This is the edge of your paper. This dashed line represents everything that is going to print. So anything inside the dashed line prints, anything outside the dashed line does not print. And then this is what we call a viewport. This is kind of like what I call a window into your model space. So again, this is paper space. This is model space. Model space, we can draw the world, theoretically. Paper space, we just can fit what will fit on, in this case, 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. Sometimes we'll use bigger paper to plot bigger stuff, but in this case, this is what you're going to use, the standard letter size sheet. So, first thing I'm going to do is delete this. Okay. Now, no worries, Hummer's not gone. If I go check in model space, boom, there it is. So, back to paper space, layout 1. And what I want to do is I'm going to draw my title block over here, okay, and then I'm going to put it onto my piece of paper. Now, you guys should all have the sheet of paper that shows you all the dimensions on how to draw your title block for AutoCAD. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do first is go in here and layer properties, okay, and I'm going to create 2 new layers. So this little guy, the star right there, creates a layer. Okay, I'm going to call my first layer title block. Okay, and I'm going to create another layer, and this layer is very important. We will use it later, but it needs to be spelled correctly. Def points. Okay, all lowercase, all one word, and you will actually click on here. And what I do is I always give def points some weird color. You can pick whatever weird color you want. But that way I know if I'm on def points. If I'm now, I selected red, if I'm drawing in red, I go, wait a minute, Gavin, I'm on def points layer, get out of it. And what def points layer does is def points layer will not print. If I go over here and scroll, print, this guy's shaded out, meaning it's not going to print. And we'll show you why that's important later. But for now, I'm going to go to my title blocks layer that I just created. I'm going to check it, and I'm going to close this. Okay, and I'm going to start creating my title block. So, start with the line tool. Oh, before we do get too far, let's turn all this stuff off we're not going to use. So I'll use object snap. I'm definitely going to use ortho mode to start because I want to draw straight lines. I don't need this. I don't need this. I think I'll leave my dynamic input just for your guys' reference. You can see what I'm typing a little more clearly. But it's up to you guys if you want to use it or not. So in this case, I'll use ortho, object snap, and dynamic input. Okay. So line tool, specify first line. And I am going to draw my line at 8.5 inches. Boom. Okay, coming over here, 11 inches. This is just the size of a piece of paper, 8.5 inches. And I'm going to close it right there. There we go. Create a piece of paper. Okay, from here on out, I'm going to just use the offset command, O for offset. And I'm going to offset lines to create a title block inside of this piece of paper. So first thing I see is from this top line up here, you need to come down 1/2 inch, and this bottom line here, I need to come up 1/2 inch. So I'm going to type in 0.5 for my offset distance. Click and click. There we go. Okay, O for offset again, and this time I need to come in 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch. I could type either 0.25 in or 1/4, doesn't matter, it's the same thing. And I'm going to create like so. Great. Okay, now I'm going to come up here, and I know from this line up here, you need to come up 3/8 of an inch. O for offset, 3/8 of an inch. By default, I'm on inches because I set it to architectural units a long time ago. And there's the beginning of what's going to look like my title block. This line, I need to set another line right here at 3 3/4 of an inch. 3.75. Need to do that twice. Okay, and one more line at 1.5 inches. There we go. That should be it. Now I'm going to use the trim command. TR is a quick command for it, or I could have selected trim up here. Easiest way to trim is just to select everything and start trimming out the stuff you don't want. So I don't want these guys. These guys are goners. All these guys are gone. Oop, missed that guy, but that's okay. We'll go back and get him in a second. These guys need to go. Need to go. Need to go. Turn off dynamic input because it's kind of making me mad right now. And there we go. Alright. Get rid of that right there. Sorry about that. Deal with that later. Okay, so now I got the beginnings of my title block. Okay, we need to put some text in here though. So I'm going to start by using my text tool. It's right here. And I'm going to, I still got object snap on, might turn ortho off, I probably don't need it. And I'm just going to click in here where I want to put my text. And I'm supposed to write here, do all caps, bend, senior high school, and close text editor. There we go. Now, a couple problems obviously. It doesn't fit. It's not centered like it needs to be. We need to fix those things. So one thing I use quite a bit is properties. I'll turn back on dynamic input so you guys can see what I'm doing. And it's just P-R-O-P-E-R-T-I-E-S. Properties. And properties, usually when it pops up, it's going to pop up over here somewhere. Basically, I just grab by the gray, slam it to the side. And I almost always just keep properties open. What I might do is do this. Oops. Like that, so it's hidden when I'm not using it, and I can come over here and look at it when I need to. But in this case, I'm just going to keep it open all times. So I'm going to select this guy right here. I need to do a couple things to it. First, the size is wrong. So over here, nice thing about properties, if I select something, it tells me everything that's going on here. Text height is 3/16 of an inch. Well, we need to be 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to type in 1/8. Boom. That looks like a good size. And my columns, it's kind of jammed in the corner up there, so I need to fix that. I need to change it from dynamic to no columns. Okay. And now I can do stuff like I can grab this corner here and move it down to there. So I have one on each corner, should be there. And the last thing I need to do here is go to justify and middle center. There we go. And enter. And escape. And there I got bend senior high. Now, I don't want to do that over and over again. Quick way to do it would be just CO, copy it, grab it from this corner, and just put it there and there and there. Alright. Now I can just quickly click on this. I can change the title to Hummer. Close text editor. I can change my name to Mr. Awesome. Boom. And I can change where I live to Bend, Oregon. Okay. Same thing for these guys. I'm just going to save myself some time. I'm going to use the copy tool. This time I'll go up here to grab it just to show you there's lots of ways to do it. And from this corner, I'm going to copy Hummer right there. Now, it's not fitting in there, so I'm going to grab these little arrows and I'll fix it so it's there. That should be perfectly centered. Again, you want all the corners on the corners here. Escape, double click, and this is where you put your scale. In this case, we have no scale, so you're just going to put none. And we'll talk about that more as the class goes on. Close text editor. CO to copy. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Block day. Change it to period 2. And number, I don't remember what number the Hummer project was. We'll just say lucky number 13. But you need to check that out. It probably is not lucky number 13. And the date, 12/5/12. Boom. Brilliant. So there is my lovely title block. And again, once you've created it, you don't ever have to create it again. So over here, before I put my title block on my piece of paper, I want to change my piece of paper and some of the parameters about it. So I'm going to go plot. And this is how you set up your paper to make sure that everything is set up right for the printer that you're going to use. So you guys are going to use, under Printer Plotter, Printer Crescent BSH P-10. Give it a second. Paper size is letter. And I'm going to go apply to layout. And very important, do not print it. Do not hit OK. Just hit cancel. We're just applying to layout. We're just setting it up for now. Right now, if it printed, it'd be a blank piece of paper. There's no point printing. So I'm going to apply to layout and then just cancel. And that sets up my piece of paper the way I'd like it. I can move this guy now. And I grab it by that corner. And what I want to do is kind of eyeball it in here and get as close to that corner as possible. Doesn't have to be perfect, but what it has to be is that this guy is inside of the dashed line, my actual title block. The edge of the piece of paper does not need to be inside the dashed line. That was just a reference, but this needs to be inside here, and it needs to be centered in there. Okay, so pretty close to finishing this up. Title block looks good. Now we're going to go up to our def points layer. And this is where def points comes in handy. Def points, I like to think of it as it's like your guidelines. These are the lines that you don't want people to see. They're just there for our reference. They're not there to be printed. So I select my def points layer again just by pulling down my layers. I can select any layer, def points layer. And I'm going to choose Make Viewport. Okay, MV. Enter. And I'm going to turn off Object Snap because I don't want it in this case. And I'm going to get close to this corner, but I don't want to be in this corner because I want to be able to see that. And I want to be able to tell the difference between my def points layer and the edge of my title block. So I'm going to click up here and put it back down in there, and boom, puts it in there for me. Okay, now that is kind of annoying. I don't want to look at the grid space, so I'm going to undo real quick. And let's go to my model and see what's going on here. Oh, I got this grid display turned on my model space, so I'm going to turn that off. Go back to my layout, and now MV, turn this off, and boom, there it is. Now you have your Hummer set up, ready to go. Type in plot one more time. By the way, don't forget to be saving as much as possible. Quick save, Control S. I'm going to hit preview to make sure everything looks real nice and dandy. And if it does, I'll press escape. And I'll hit OK. In this case, I'm not going to print, but you guys would hit OK to send to the printer and then go retrieve your drawing and turn it in. There you go. Enjoy.